Hello and welcome to the Black Cat Intuitive and to this reading in which I will be addressing something that has happened in Canada that's very disturbing. It's the mass culling, or well, you could also say murdering of ostriches on the Universal Ostrich Farm. So I'm going to do a reading on this and just see what questions come up and in regards to this. And I might do a two-part reading. I've already done one reading before on this. I got the Ten of Swords when I asked if they would be unalived. I'm going to keep it YouTube friendly. But, and I really did not want to believe this. But now, I did not want to believe this. But now that it has happened, it's very, very disturbing. But I'm going to go into a reading on that and just see the questions that come up. Like I say, I might do it into two parts, but let's begin. I've just I'll just make a space right here. Make sure the camera is running, and let's see. And the first question I'm going to ask, and this may sound intuitive and obvious, but I'm going to ask why is this wrong? Why is what happened wrong? And I'm going to see what the cards say, and I'm going to see what I get. And then I'll go to other questions. I'll just go to various questions like maybe about what actually happened, getting the energies behind it. But the first question that I've been led to explore is why is or was this wrong? What happened? What happened? From the bottom, why is this wrong? 6, I hear in the reverse, so I'll put that to the side. Sometimes you hear that they're reversed. And then let's see what else. Why was this? I heard very, very strongly the 3 from the top, very strong. I think that's all. I might pull another, but let's see. So why was this wrong? Why was this wrong? And I got very strongly, okay, 2 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and how interesting, and the King of Pentacles. Wow. So we've got the 2 of Pentacles in the middle, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So a female side. I'm just going to blow out. I've been doing some incense right here just to clear the space. That's kind of a disturbing topic. But and then okay, let's see. And then the Hermit. I'm hearing the word individuality because it takes away individuality, but it takes away so much more. So it's really interesting. We've got the Pentacle there, and then the Queen and King of Pentacle cards, which is owning something, being solidified, being safe, being sort of safe in the earth, safe in the ground. But then the 2 of Pentacles, it's upsetting. Okay, I think I see where this is partially going. Like it's upsetting. It upsets people's security, and of course the animals as well, but it upsets everybody's sense of security and safety. It's a violation of sorts, but I'm hearing the word a gross violation of safety. Like even how they did, like they didn't do it in the daytime where everyone could see, but they did it in the night. So I'm hearing it's okay. It's a gross violation of safety, but it is so much more than that. And let me see. I'm going to pull some other cards. It's a gross violation of safety because it's taking away. I'm hearing it's taking away from people. It's taking away, and when you take away from people, you make them feel very unsafe. And it's like, yes, it is also like that. The whole, if you notice, there's themes. There's themes to various things that happen, right? I'm hearing they're very interconnected. Even the land grab, it's taking away, and you can't do anything about it. And who does that? Who does that but a parent? A parent is somebody who yes, okay, I'm hearing. So it's sort of like it's shocking and awing people, but who's the only one who does that is a parent and who has no explanation. Not to say that they didn't, there's BS explanation, but when it comes down to it, there really was no true explanation. The energy behind it, as well as the Richmond land grab, is I can do this because I can do this because I have the power to, and it's sort of usurping. It's trying to, I'm hearing the word, it's a parental role. The government is trying to be a parental role. This is not an accident. These sort of psychological operations against humans are not an accident whatsoever. And the land grab, not to say, because it doesn't involve killing of people's pets, right? Because was like involved of people. They were loved, they were connected to them, but it's kind of like, see, we can do whatever we want. See, we can do whatever we want. So it's part of the dark side's operation. Yeah, it's against humanity. That's what it is. It's part of the dark side's, like, we can do whatever we want to your animals. We can do whatever we want to your property. And it's very significant. Those two things that have happened to close the Richmond land grab, that they're very much, when things happen in succession, often they are connected. So I'm hearing. So why else is it wrong? Why else is it wrong? And it seems like why would I start it with that question? Because I just felt it's important. It just popped into my head as an important thing. Threat. So threat. We've got threat. The word threat. So I use this. This has different words. This deck has different words. So why else was it wrong? And also I'm hearing that when you, like the hermit on this side, he's very sovereign. The hermit is very sovereign. He does what he pleases, right? But then you're upsetting, the unstable. You're upsetting the surface of the Queen of Pentacles. It's no accident the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles came up, because that's a solidified, a strength, a sense of being connected. Like the pentacle is being connected to the earth, being connected to the land, and you're upsetting that, right? I'm seeing upsetting your sense of sovereignty. And when they did it to this farm, or they did it to the land, and I will do a reading on the land grab as well. You're upsetting. It's like a psychological operation that is upsetting people's equilibrium, a threat, a constant threat. We all feel the threat. I'm hearing we all, yes, they are the ones who lost their ostriches, and they are the ones who felt the absolute brunt of what happened, but we all feel the threat. It's like, and it's very symbolic. You're doing it at night, right? I mean, why would you do it? That's just, any thinking person can know there's something shady about that. But threat, it makes it unstable for everything. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't any black magic sort of manipulations connected to this. Even the day that this was done, and I don't even remember. I don't know the day. But I'm hearing that it's significant. The day that this was done. I don't know if it's like what that is as astrology. I don't follow that, or if it's one of the dark holidays of the dark people, the dark as in like the dark side. But I'm hearing it's very, like, when they did that, or they did it at night, it feels like it's very significant to father. Yes, and I'm hearing that it goes with the theory that popped up in my mind before, that it's kind of like, what does this remind you? I can do whatever you want. I want to your flock, to your property. It's like, what would it do? A parent are the ones that, would say something like, because I said so, with no explanation. It's like almost like the government or the dark side behind this. They're sort of imprinting an energy, like, we can do what we want because even, and then I know that they would come up with sort of explanation because they have to, but it didn't make sense, and it's like that's the energy that they're trying to like. It's trying to embed in like in society again, or the like sort of the dark side wants to embed that, like, okay, we're the like the father figure, we can do whatever we want. Okay, let's see what else, what else is it wrong, and then I'm going to go into questions, maybe into who did it. Do they feel any guilt? I know there's different people involved. I mean, when these kind of things happen, there's like different people, but I'm just going to see what comes up. So okay, and then maybe an expert. So like, is this energy father expert of like, okay, I can tell you what to do. Like it's an attack on humanity of like expert, like there these experts that aren't really an expert. They're saying, oh, it's kind of gaslight. Well, not kind of. It is gaslighting. It's like, we're the expert and we say so. Father expert. Feather. Like, that's the energy too. And I'm also saying, why else is it wrong? I'm hearing this is wrong because they were not. It adds to the wrongness and sort of the. I'm hearing, yes, the L word. I don't want to use it on the L00S. That word, yes, too, but it's, if you know what that is, but it's kind of like it was particularly bad. It was because if you were to go after somebody's flock of chickens that maybe they don't have such an emotional attachment to, maybe, not saying some people do have attachment to chickens, but it's kind of like it made it extra bad because of the soul bond and the longevity of these birds. And because of that, it made like we can, like almost like we can break the soul bonds. We can almost like it feels like a very dark like energy behind this. Like it's like well, we can, like, you've had these, because if they've had it for, it's a very much a symbolic of them saying what they can do. Like, just say somebody had chickens for like 8 months. They didn't have that much of a bond to them, but they just kind of, whatever. It wouldn't be the same. I'm not saying the government should be held back and held accountable in those cases too, but in this case, it's particularly symbolic. I'm hearing it's particularly symbolic given the heart bond that they had with these ostriches, and also the intelligence, right? So it's almost the dark forces' last attempt. It's a symbol of the dark forces' attempt to disempower humanity. That's what it is. It's like boredom. And I'm hearing that, there feels like to be a really dark. I'm hearing the devil does the devil does the, or what is it called? Idle hands do the devil's work. And I've got boredom, and I'm hearing that it's sort of like this really nasty energy coalesced around, almost like demonic and posture. And posture, so what I'm hearing is that, like, when I see boredom, it's kind of like, what can we create to the dark? It's like kind of part of the dark side last attempt to have control over humanity by this symbolic act type thing, which is, more than, so I'm hearing posturing, but then of course with posture, like, or they're pretending that it's something other than what it is, when it's really something awful and different, when they posture and pretend, but it's really something like nefarious behind it. And I'm hearing it's quite easy. Not everybody who's involved in this operation is nefarious. I'm hearing that's very clear. Not everybody. It's kind of like when evil acts happen, there's people that inject the energy into it, and then there's of course the people who go along. So I'm hearing it's not very difficult to perpetrate various acts on humanity. Like, it's like it's like energetically you always have to keep everybody has to keep themselves, their energy high to prevent these kind of invasions, because the dark side will go, they will do whatever they can do they will do whatever they can do to I'm hearing some of them just like effing with him. I'm hearing that there's demonic forces, and some are human, but some just like effing with humans. They really don't like humans. That's what I'm hearing. They really do not like humans. And I'm hearing the whole action against this farm was it orchestrated? I'm hearing yes and no. Yeah, yes, there was an orchestration, but it's important to know that not everybody knows. Like, it's very easy to just, given people's obedience, like you can just have one or two people that can create the energy of something in motion and with intent. I'm hearing, with strong intent. And then people will just, they're so obedient, the bureaucracy is just lined up. They'll go along with whatever it is. So it's quite easy to perpetrate, as has been seen, like negative actions. And it's like an invasion on humanity's boundaries. It's like an abuser will invade against a human's boundaries, just like with the land grab, like, oh, you don't own your property anymore. It's like an strong invasion against the boundary. Okay, the next, I don't know why I just felt that was an important first question, but the second question is, what do the ostriches feel about this? What do the ostriches, and I'm going to ask that. What should I ask first? How do they feel? Okay, I'm going to ask, how did they feel when it was happening? I'm hearing I'm hearing the word betrayed. They felt betrayed. They were used to so much love in their life. I'm hearing that they're used to so much love in their life. With the Knight of Cups, they felt so very betrayed. Seven of Pentacles, it's almost like they had a life like Seven of Pentacles for a long time. With the Seven of Pentacles, they had such a sense of sort of love of basically. And they basically, now they feel that, I'm hearing that, what did they feel? What did they feel when it was happening? I heard the word betrayed, and just like almost like the Chariot, like this has changed, like what is going on here? Like this is just completely come out of nowhere type thing. Like they didn't, I'm hearing some ostriches sort of thought it would happen. Some were intuitive, and I'm hearing it in the flock. There's some that are more intuitive and more intelligent, but some were just completely taken by surprise. How did they feel? The Empress, I'm hearing like they were like so rudely treated. I'm hearing just so, and we'll get some other one. Let's get some other ones. I'm hearing so rudely treated. And I see like that, it's almost like the sense of, when you, this is a sense that I get, like when you see that perfectly made bed, when you make a bed, and then you mess it up. It's almost like that. Like, how did they feel? They felt like somebody was just rudely going into their space and just like ruining it. Just absolutely just ruining it, like a bed. And then these people were like, okay, we've got the Chariot and go, the moving forward card. They were just moving into their space. And let's see, and with water, they felt tears. I'm hearing some felt betrayed, but that's some of the, just absolutely, that's and then some felt fear, pain, and anger, but just lots of emotionality, various, they really felt the trauma of this, and they felt the sort of the some tried to, like, the terror and the horror of this, they felt like it was not a good experience. This is not a positive well, obviously, right? And it's almost like just the shock of being like I just getting it's just they were in a habit of being, and then there was just they knew something else was happening the last, like, since the other people came on the property, which was upsetting enough, but then it was a horror that, like, most of them couldn't think of happening, but I'm hearing some new. I'm hearing some of the ostriches are more intuitive, and there's some that just aren't, like, intuitive. So maybe, like, a handful kind of knew it was going to happen, and a handful just totally took off and they felt betrayed. And it's almost like their firm foundation and their kind of habitual way of living had been usurped, and then it just was totally, the rug was put under their feet, and then a lie, like almost betrayed, like lie, like everything. All I can describe it is a lot of them felt like, oh, everything was just, like, not a lie, but like it's like hide and then hide. They felt like hiding. They felt like hiding, but they couldn't. They felt like hiding, and they couldn't, and dreaming. And then some started thinking it was a dream, or they started, like, maybe this is when some of them were unaliving. They started, like, going into a dream state almost. They kind of, like, went into a, like, and they couldn't even believe it was happening. But yeah, I'm hearing dream state is very important. Like, they kind of, some were, like, kind of going on the other side, and then some were half there, and they were just like, it became this bizarre dream, almost like a bad trip. Like, it became, for some of them, it started to feel like a bad trip. So that's how they felt. So it wasn't a good, and strangers, and they felt very, like, abandoned from those that they loved. They felt just so abandoned and just betrayed. That's what they felt. They felt abandoned and betrayed, and just, okay. And then resist. And then resist and letting go. And then at first they tried to resist, and then they just there's no point, and they just said, well, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna just let it be over. I'm hearing just let it be over, and yeah, it's no use to resist, and just letting go. So yeah, it doesn't feel. I'm just gonna go to the next question because it doesn't feel very good in that question. But I'm going to ask, how do they feel now? Now, are some of them, or all of them, or are they watching? How do they feel now? Do they understand now at some level, now that they're, like, on another plane or in another, do they understand? Two of Swords. I'm hearing some understand very well. I'm hearing with the Two of Swords, because it's like you can't see, like, there's just not understanding. I'm hearing that some are well, this is the Ten of Pentacles. Some are, let me feel into this. Some feel that this was their life work. So it's very mixed about how they different. There's like about 3 or 4, probably about 3 different levels, even four levels of consciousness of the birds. Like, there's some that are really there. I'm hearing that on 4th level of consciousness of the birds, they feel like their life work was complete. They feel that I think there's some birds that feel that they made an impact through this, and they feel very proud. Some of them do feel that way, that they feel almost proud on the other side of their time on earth, and what they did. So, like, how they were, and they feel that they left an impact. They feel that they left a sort of on Canadian. I'm hearing that some of the ostriches were almost like, I'm hearing a very small, like a handful were very, very like almost human. Like, but then there's a couple that were just completely like almost like they totally understood everything. But like then there were some that were just kind of there for the ride, and they and there's some, so it's very much differs the level of like consciousness that these birds have. And but then there is, what else do they feel? Let's see what else. What else do they want to say? That the ostriches. So I heard 3 from the bottom is important, and then some feel really. It's really interesting. Some are proud, and are almost like they're over it, and they feel proud about it. Like maybe the first and second group of ostriches. Like I'm talking about like getting it. Like there's different levels to which animals get things, and they have the consciousness to get things, and then I'm hearing some of the birds, they totally understand what happened, and they understand the whole context of it, but and they feel fine about what happened. But I'm hearing there's another group of birds, they feel extremely angry. They feel really like they want to like almost seek like some sort of retribution. Like they want to like, okay, what's here? So there's a sort of like, yeah, they want to some have difficulty or like understanding it, but some are just really angry. They're really angry that their life was like just like they don't like something about ostriches. They don't like to be upset. They don't like to be, I'm hearing that there's overall, I don't know much about ostriches, but they don't like to be like upset, or they don't like the flow of what, like to be destroyed, right? So you've got this farmer opening everything up, all the flocks are coming out, and it's sort of like so it's kind of like the ostriches, they're kind of like, yeah, some are really they're happy. Some are happy about what happened because they feel that what they've set out to accomplish, they're proud that they're known. Like some of them have a knowledge that they're now known, but some are just filled with like anger at their equilibrium, their life being upset. Like they kind of feel anger about the violation. Yes, they feel very like angry. They may even, I'm hearing an angry ostrich is not to be messed with, even in the astral realm. I don't know, enemy. Yeah, I know the enemy. I'm hearing that ostrich, like an angry ostrich, is not to be messed with. Melancholy. Melancholy. And some I'm hearing there's another group that they feel very sad that they left their somebody who loved them for so long. They feel very, consolation, melancholy and consolation, and that they just feel sadness. And some feel bad that they feel bad. So it's like a various, and then amount of consciousness, like a various different types of consciousness. And I'm hearing you don't want to mess with an ostrich on the astral form. So there's just like these levels of different consciousnesses that are the ostrich. I'm gonna ask, are they together in the afterlife? Are the ostriches interesting. Justice and Queen. Oh wow, that's pretty crazy. I said, are they together in the afterlife, right? And I 5 of Swords, and I'm hearing yes and no. They've kind of gone into their groups. like it's kind of like they've gone into the astral realm, and some are confused, some are in groups, like the sort of the more intelligent, the more getting at ostriches are together. And some of them, I'm hearing justice in the Queen of Swords. It's interesting, Queen of Swords is all about justice. The swords, as you see, they're almost the same, right? And then we've got the Five of Swords. I'm hearing angry birds. There's a chunk of them that are really angry, and they want to go after who did this. They want to. So it's an interesting thing. Are they going to go, like, because you know how, like, there's this, like, if you do something bad, like unalive somebody in this realm, sometimes they go after you in another realm, and they go after the people involved. So I'm going to ask, are there a group of ostriches that are going to go after on the other? I'm hearing the Magician. Yes, is about power. Is about power and a Five of Wands. So Five of Swords, Five of Wands. So they want to cause. Eight of Pentacles. I'm hearing ostriches can be very obsessive. They can be very angry and obsessive. And it's kind of like an aspect of humans have too, but like they can get really angry and offended. They can get really angry and offended, and they feel like they've been there. So there's a group of ostriches that is totally like they're fine with what happened, and they feel proud of their life, and they feel like sort of like they kind of have a human. There's a handful that have a human, almost a human understanding of what happened, and then there's some that are like really pissed off. I'm hearing they're really pissed off and about what happened. They feel very they feel angry. They feel the anger. They feel the anger, and it's almost like when I see that, I'm seeing that there's various intelligences in the ostriches, in terms of understanding, and some are really understanding, and some are just almost have become really almost childlike vindictive. They've become a horde of just become a horde of what's the word, just of angry horde, and then they were kind of the more understanding of ostriches that kind of have a more, shall we say, spiritual understanding, are trying to tell them, okay, no, it's it's okay, it's kind of not okay what happened, but we're in this reality now, we're in this other reality now, but some have just become really livid. I'm hearing really livid, and I'll get back to that. I'm going to see that later. I'm going to ask another question, which is now, let's ask a question. The people, okay, so there's, what happened is they went in the cover of night, right, which is very obviously it's very obviously very, when you do something in the cover of night, you're not really doing anything good, right? It's not it's obviously suspicious, but it just doesn't make sense, because if you're doing something like that, then you should have the daylight. You should at least, it's very dangerous and harmful. If you're going to do something like that, it's more dangerous and more harmful. So I'm going to ask, what am I going to ask? How do the people, the hands-on, I'll call it, because there's different levels of this operation, that people who did the hands-on operation, what do they think about this? Five of Pentacles. So that's out in the cold, out in the, I'm hearing Seven of Cups, choice. I'm hearing, what choice do we have? Out in the cold, they feel out in the cold, out in the cold, what choice do we have? We have to do King of Pentacles. I'm hearing either they feel, oh, we have to do this in order to preserve our own physicality, our own, career. And Eight of Swords and trapped. Eight of Swords trapped, very like trapped. But I'm hearing it's kind of a general, because there's different, like there's, everyone's individual. Like they do this, there's different levels, there's different like people who get together and they perpetrate something, but they all have their different psyches, obviously. But that's just what I get. It's kind of like the overall collective. Let's see, Ace of Cups. I'm hearing one of the group felt quite emotional and bad about it. And one felt, it's interesting, I hear one felt in the group felt really extremely bad, and they didn't know what they were really getting into. They felt very like, oh, what am I doing? But like they just went along with it, but they felt emotionally extremely bad. And then I'm hearing one was very, or is very, I'm hearing the word bloodthirsty in the group. One in the group was very like almost enjoys killing. It's really disturbing to get that, but it's sort of like, but then one really did not like what was going on. One was just like of the actual, the actual ones who perpetrated. One feels extremely guilty. Even now, one feels extremely guilty. And then I'm hearing, it's almost like an extreme, and there's another one who really enjoys like unaliving and just being part of that. One is almost like a sociopath in the group, and then one is a good sort of someone who did it, and they just like, it was traumatic for them. It was actually very traumatic for one person's in the group, and then that's what I'm getting. And then one was really just a nasty sociopath. So it's like this is what happens when you have perpetrate, like these kind of things that happen. There's different sort of energies that sort of come together. And an Ace of Wands. So like it's very, like I'm hearing there's almost like this very dark, mischievous energy around this whole operation, like a very, like a dark energy. Like it's almost like an energy that just likes effing with humans, that likes, that's kind of so that's one energy behind this, that is just someone who enjoys just messing with humans. Wheel of Fortune. But I'm hearing that the last laugh will be, I'm hearing that with the dark side is that there's, they tend to almost be in the moment, and they like, and this is very common with sort of sociopathic actions. They can be very like not knowing about or not thinking about long-term consequences. So I'm hearing that the long-term consequences of this will be positive. The long-term consequences of this will be a positive thing. So it's, the last laugh is on the dark side, and I'm hearing that, and I got the Justice card again. There will be like, it moves the needle, and as evil as this is, it moves the needle into a positive trajectory, despite how, I don't know how to describe other than that, but how evil this act was, and how like based on I'm hearing emotional mischief. Like I'm hearing like there's the energy of like emotional mischief around here, and boundary invasion almost. And then there's almost like, and I'm hearing that who's the real baddie in this situation, and if you look at them, they're exactly the same. I'm hearing that who's like the perpetrator of this, and it is, or the kind of the people that should be more, or the ones that kind of put this in motion more. And I'm hearing they will look like the others, but it's important to know in these kind of situations who's bad and who is good, because of course there's the issue of, you know, people going, I mean, the biggest issue is people going along with this and allowing for these kind of acts to actually happen. But I'm hearing that looking, like, sometimes people will look exactly the same. And this is an important lesson with this, is to, like, sort of in the situation, who is evil, who is good. And there's definitely a line between that. And but it's kind of like, it's like, I'm hearing good and bad people can look exactly the same. Like, for example, like the cops there, that you know, allow things to happen in Canada, that allow, you know, in other regimes, like, allow them to go on. Like, they can look the exact same, and one might be a good intentioned person, and one might be a truly evil person. So that's one of the sort of the elements to look for in these kind of situations, is differentiating sort of how this came about, and like how evil happens. And I'm hearing that's okay. What I'm hearing right now is that's a very important question to be really mindful of, and to understand how evil happens. And it's almost like evil must always be kept at bay. I'm hearing evil, that's the sort of the how evil happens, and it must always be kept at bay. And how do you do this? You this is what I'm hearing. You create like to sort of stop these kind of things from happening, or these invasions of boundaries, these dark side manipulations where they invade people's space. It's about strengthening everyone's constitutional or emotional or spiritual boundaries, because it's almost like a bully. If there's any way to get in, if there's any way to do something, the dark will find a way in. Like, the dark will find a way in. And yes, so I think that's the end of this video. I might do another video with more questions on this subject. I'm just like letting whatever question comes up to you know, like, and then going from there, and just kind of going from there. But yeah, it's an important issue to explore, and thank you for watching.